All right, so this is my setup for today. I got everything I need. I got digital microscope. I've got a soldering iron for lower temperatures, a soldering iron for higher temperatures, soldering tweezers, hot air station. I'm probably not gonna need all of this for what we're doing today, but I've got it. Hey everyone, it's the amazing Ryan here. And today we're gonna be doing a little something different. We're gonna be building a Game Gear using this kit. Yeah, we got one of those. And as you can see, it comes with a battery pack, rechargeable power board for that, as well as the screen that's laminated and the boards and ribbon cables and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna take an attempt at building it and let's see how it goes. So here we have our package. Let's see what's inside. Yeah, dig it. And here we have our blue shell. And it's got a bunch of the goodies inside. Dig it. All right, so as you see, we got the buttons here. Button pads, screws, battery terminals, which we won't need because it has battery packs pre-installed, as well as power supply. So the battery packs and power supply are already pre-installed in here, which is great. So it's just a matter of building the main board and installing it on there. So let's see what comes inside here. I already know. So here we have our laminated screen. Here we have 2 ribbon cables, motherboard, some 0 ohm resistors, and some wire. Cool. All right, so got a board here. This is a working Game Gear board, but it's got lines in the screen. So it's a perfect candidate for doing this screen kit. Now, there's some things we have to remove. One of them is this fluorescent tube, and then these 2 fuses on each side, followed by the ribbon cable. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the screen. So we got to start out by peeling off this tape, which is not easy. I could use hot air to soften it up, but I almost got it. Okay, tape has been removed. So now we're going to switch over to the hot air station, and we are going to remove the ribbon cable. We don't need it cranked. So now we just apply some hot air. Warm up the board, warm up the ribbon cable. All right, now I'm going to fold underneath so that it pops free easier, and it's gonna be like magic. Just like that. So now the old screen has been removed. Throw it in the trash because can't really be used for anything. All right, so now we're going to desolder here and here to get this fluorescent tube out. I'm doing this one-handed. Got enough that side. Got enough that side. So now we've got these fuses here. Okay, so now that we've done that, there's one more component I want to remove. It's not required, but I prefer to remove this component, and that is the semiconductor right here. So we're going to remove that, and that'll kill the 35 or 34 volt circuit. I can't remember whether it's 35 or 34 volts, but either way we need to kill that circuit, and we'll do so by removing this semiconductor. So we're going to do that now. Got it out of there. All right. So let's read the instructions and see what steps we have to take in effort to make this work. So I'll be right back. All right, so one of the things we have to remove is R34, which is right here. R34 has to be removed, and then we have to replace it with a 0 ohm resistor, or we can just bridge it. I prefer to just bridge it. So that's what we're gonna do. So right now, in order to get this out of here, it's in a really tight spot because we don't wanna burn our contrast wheel. So I'm heating up my soldering tweezers. This way I can get behind it and get it out of there. Get it out of there. All right, so let's see here. I don't have a steady hand. I can't do it with this. I'm not going to use the soldering tweezers because I don't have a steady hand today. And I need to be real steady for that. What I can do is go back and forth with the soldering iron until it comes free. It came off and then landed right back in the spot again. All right, so there's R34. Whisked away. So now we're going to take some solder and just bridge this so that it's connecting. All right, so we're bridged there. And I've also went ahead and ran a wire from the bottom of R38, I believe, to pad T10. So that's done. So now we have to install the ribbon cable. So I've taped it into place. Now, when it comes to these pins, it's important to know where pin 1 is, because this is not pin 1. This is pin 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pin 9 is the start of your cable. So make sure that this is centered properly. Make sure that you use plenty of flux. You're about to watch me install this, and I shouldn't have any issues. I say that. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? All right, so just gonna go ahead and add some flux. And the purpose of the flux is for the solder to flow smoother and better. And it will flow very, very smoothly. So what I like to do is, after I apply the paste flux, since I don't have liquid flux, I just melt it down with the soldering iron. Melt it down. This way I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to switch over to a lower temperature soldering iron. This is set at 350. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add solder and spread it. Now it's genuinely going to stick to the copper, and it'll keep separated. If I get any bridging, I can wick it off. But yeah, I'm going to go. I can't film this, unfortunately, because I only have 2 hands. So I'm going to do this, and we'll be right back. All right, so that's done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, and you know, it's a pet peeve of mine to film a screen, but that's what we're going to do. Oh, you know what? Let me clean it off with some IPA and get it better. All right, that's better. So let's take a look under the microscope. Yeah, dig it. Okay, I could do, yeah, some of these could use a little touching up. These ones are good. These 4 are perfect. These 4 could use a little touching up. So we'll touch these up and then get back at it. All right, it's looking good. Okay, so I don't believe there's any other prep other than when we install the board and then wire it up. So I guess we can just do that now. So let's get the board out and get it wired. All right, I sort of temporarily taped the board on just to hold it in place so I can get these pads soldered. And we're gonna solder to a couple resistors, and then we're gonna solder to a couple of points on the card slot here. I believe we're gonna solder to this pin and this pin. And then we also have to run, oh my gosh, that is cruddy. I need to clean that. Anyway, we need to solder to the second pin here. So let me clean that up and we'll get started. All right, so we got these 2 wires ran. You can see these are the pins we're using. This top 2nd one over, and this bottom 6th one over. This top 2nd one over is the SMS, and then this 6th one over on the bottom is our 5 volts. So those are attached right there. Easy. Oh, and then our backlight light attached to the 2nd pin there. So now we just have to make our button connections, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because we actually got to solder onto the side of a couple of resistors for the buttons. So let's do that now. Yeah, dig it. All right, so C38, which is right here, we have to go on this side in between this transistor. We gotta squeeze a wire in there, water to the side, solder to the side of that. Not water, don't water it. It won't grow, trust me. I tried it, it doesn't work. All right, we got button 1 to, what was it? C38, right? Button 2 to C37, which is buried under that. There it is, C37. And then last but not least, the bottom of C36. And that is for button 3. So if you're doing this at home and you're following along, that's where we're at so far. All right, so I just put the speaker in using the supplied tiny screws. And yeah, so speaker's in. I'm going to put the laminated screen in next. So I'm gonna do that now. Done. Now I'm gonna put the buttons in. All right, I got it all stuffed in here. I put some Velcro like between this board and the screen. It's kind of keeps this, but there's nothing to mount this board to. It just flops around. So I put some Velcro just to kind of mount it in place. If you hear crunching, that's my kitty cat pigging out over there. Anyway, I'm gonna put some screws in this board and hopefully it'll work. We'll see. All right, so got all the screws in, got the buttons in place, the button pads, everything's lined up good. Got my Velcro here. I used some Kapton tape to hold down the wires because I don't want to stick a card in and catch a wire and rip it out. We got the touch sensor attached right there, as you can see. And yeah, it's ready for reassemble. Okay, so here it is. It's all together. All the screws are in. I put the stickers on the back. Let's see what happens when we put in a game. Dig it. Gotta blow the dust out of the cart. Stick it in there. Kick it on. Voila. Beautifully, wonderfully made by me. Yeah, well, that's it, folks. That's a big screen. Holy cow. That was easy. This is the seller from eBay right here. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I did a video prior to this video of one of their kits. It's basically the same exact kit, just not the battery pack, rechargeable one that we just did. So I gave him a bad review, I gave him a bad rep, and I even gave him bad feedback on eBay because I used both ribbon cables. I was extremely thorough and it did not work. So yeah, with a lot of back and forth from the seller for that one, I was mad at myself for even ordering 2 kits from them because I got one sooner than I got the other one. This one we just built that you just saw arrived today. The other one came last week. I did the one last week and it was an epic fail. So if you haven't seen that video, go back on my channel and watch that video. I do dog the hell out of this seller right here. So look, it does work. Their product does work. In fact, the one from last week that didn't work, that I gave them a bad rap about, I actually got that one working with the extra ribbon cable that came with this kit. So I now have both working. So I'm gonna reach out to the seller and let them know I did get it working. And I might even reverse my negative feedback because, look, they sent me 2 bad ribbon cables. I mean, but things happen. Anyway, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video.